All right, now we're going to start to get into conditional statements. So this is where our logic and our programs start becoming really useful. We can actually start to make decisions with our programs. So this is how we start using conditional logic. So there's a couple different if-else type statements we're going to use here. The very first program we're going to use is just the straight up if statement. So basically the way all of these work, we're going to create our if line. It's going to look like this here. And the way this works, I'll show you when we do our program. Basically, we create an if statement. We then have an expression that follows that in brackets. That is going to be a Boolean type of expression. If that expression is true, then everything that happens in the curly brackets below that will be executed. Okay, so that will actually happen. We call that the body of the conditional statement. If everything that's in this Boolean expression is false, then we do not execute this stuff that's inside the curly brackets. We basically just skip over it and carry on in our program. So basically, we say if the statement is true, do these things. If the statement is false, do not do these things. Okay, that's basically the way this works. There's some flowcharts here explaining these things. So the very first one we're going to do is the if, which is shown here. This is our first program we're going to use, so let's see how this works. Jump over to my programming here. So the first thing we're going to go do here, we're going to compare two numbers to see which one is bigger. So we're going to prompt the operator for, so I'm going to key in a bunch of comments here. We're basically going to prompt the user convert, and then so that's basically what our program is going to be. Prompt the user for the first number, convert that. Prompt the user for the second number, convert that one. Decide which of those two numbers is bigger, and then output the result. So we're going to say console write line We're going to find out we can do a lot of cutting and pasting for these things we're doing over and over again. And then our convert here, these are going to be integers we're going to use this time. So we're going to say integer first number is going to be integer parse. Console read line. Okay, so that's going to take the data parse it into an integer, put that number in variable first number. Let's do the same thing and put it into variable second number. Okay, so let's do that. Just space this out so it's a little bit easier for you to read. Now decide which is bigger. So this is the new stuff here. So we are going to say if, with our if statement, we then put brackets. I guess first of all, let's do one more thing first. We're going to say integer bigger number. Let's set that equal to first number. So that's going to be our initialized state, is bigger number is going to be the first number. Now we'll change that if the second number is larger than the first number. So now we're going to say if, in brackets, second number is greater than first number. So if that statement is true, if the second number is actually larger than the first number, then we will execute the things that's in the body of this. So we have to put in a curly bracket. You see when I put in one curly bracket, it puts in the second one for you. Kind of space that out. Got to be very careful here. Your brackets always line up. So there's always a starting one and a closing one. Okay? That's going to be a common mistake, is you don't have the right number of brackets. I'm going to separate these and put my code in the line between them, just so the brackets are on their own line. Makes them easier to see that way. So if the second number is larger than the first number, then let's overwrite that bigger number with the second number. So we will say bigger number is going to be equal to second number, if that is the case. So bigger number is going to be equal to the first number, but if the second number is larger than first number, then let's make bigger number equal to the second number. Okay? So if this is true, execute this. If this is not true, skip by this. So by the time we get down to this point in our program, bigger number should be equal to the larger of the two numbers. And then we're going to put a result. Console write line. Is curly brackets argument 0. Comment, comma, bigger number. All right, so that should be our program. So this is the decision here. So if second number is larger than the first one, overwrite this with the second number. So let's watch this guy run. Enter two numbers and I will tell you which one is larger. First number is 5, second number is 3, the bigger number is 3. That did not work. So let's see what's wrong here. Huh. First number is 3. Second number is 6. Bigger number is 6. First number is 6. Second number is 3. Bigger number is 3. It's always writing the second one. So it's always writing the second number. So it's always thinking that expression is true. Ah, okay. I did something wrong there. So this does not get a semicolon after it. Okay. So see how I had that there and it gave it a squiggly mark underneath it? Possible, mistaken, or empty statement. So that is incorrect. This is correct. So let's watch this run. First number is 6. Second number is a 4. Bigger number is a 6. First number is a 4. Second number is a 6. Bigger number is a 6. Okay, so that appears to be working correctly. So that is a key point. We always learn stuff when we're doing this. So when we're writing these statements, be very careful that you do not put a semicolon right there. So if we look at the example program here, this is probably in the notes as well, you'll see in the example program there is no semicolon on our if statement. And on these expressions as they're shown here, these if-else statements, you get a semicolon in the body. So you can see right here, the expression that's in the body gets a semicolon. You do not get a semicolon right here. So that is a key element to making this work properly. So again, notice right here, no semicolon. Here, you do get a semicolon. That is the proper syntax for that. So it flagged that as a warning on me. So green squiggly line there. It didn't give me an error on that. It gave me a green squiggly line. So not a red, but a green. So be aware of that. That's a good lesson to learn there. All right, so that is our program number 4.